What's up, everybody? Nordista Freeze in the house, baby. Hey, y'all. Welcome to Fun Zone. I'm here in the toy closet of my childhood home where I live to this day. And, Fun Zone is my way of connecting with people, maybe artists, musicians, creatives, anyone doing anything interesting. And today we have someone very interesting who I've met twice, both times at Waffle House. And he's a freshman at Belmont, and he just put out a set of songs um, that sound amazing, and I'm really excited to have him here. So, without further ado, please welcome on Michael Allen Scott. What's up, dude?
Freeze.
Dude, you're
Oh,
sideways.
wait.
What in the
Am
heck?
I sideways?
You look good
Oh,
though.
man. There we go. Is that better?
Yeah, what's up?
Word. What's up?
Good to see you
I'm just,
repping the Belmont.
I
A proud
am.
freshman.
Yes, I am. I'm a proud freshman at Belmont.
Yeah, good to see you. Where are you coming from today?
I am in Atlanta, back home at my parents' house for the holidays.
That's right. You're from Atlanta originally,
Mm-hmm.
yeah? Born and raised?
Um, so raised but not born. I was born in Indiana.
Interesting.
Um, then I lived in Colorado for like a year, but most of my
Really?
life, yeah, most of my life I've been here in
Cool. That's what's up.
ATL.
And did you
Yeah.
know people like Claire, the Claires? Did you know them from high school?
I I did not. So I didn't know any of that crew until I went to Belmont and realized they were like very close to me. But no, I
Yeah.
had no clue who they were.
That's funny. Your room looks amazing.
Yeah.
What is that wire
Th-
behind you? It says
oh,
wire.
that is it says Wire Method.
Whoa.
That's
Cool.
my sister's old band. Yeah, their old banner. But
Interesting.
yeah,
So
this
wait,
is
is that
my stew.
yeah, cool. Is that where do y'all do like shows there or something?
Um I don't think they've done a show down
It just
here.
looks like
Wouldn't
they're,
surprise me if they have
it
back
looks
in the
like it's
day.
something for a photo shoot
Yeah,
or
it's
for a
got I think they did at one point. I think they used it for a photo shoot like 5 years ago, but yeah,
that's what's
it's
up,
pretty
dude.
tight.
Um,
Yeah.
congrats on the release of volume 1 of
Thanks.
Tom Apple.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Appreciate it.
Pretty awesome to have that out. You started putting out, let's see, when Honest Man was the first single that came out in August. So
Mhm.
basically right, I guess right when school started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I released Honest Man the Friday online school started, and
Wow.
then my next single was the Friday that I was at Belmont. So it
That's
just kind of worked
cool.
out that way. Yeah.
The plan was
Kind of
always the
sick.
plan to like come into college and come into Nashville with this music freshly being put out.
Yeah, I definitely wanted like to release music, just kind of have like a almost like a portfolio, like coming to Nashville for like people to refer to. But I
Right.
didn't really plan it out. I just kind of like set a date and then it just like worked out perfectly.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds amazing.
Yeah, for sick.
I think,
Appreciate it.
I mean, honestly, I think it's a pretty genius idea to like have singles just like pumping out as soon as you come to
Yeah.
your new city and your new like school. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, it was not planned, but yeah, it worked out
That's
super
cool.
well. Yeah.
Um, so these, I'm guessing, are all songs you made in high school or or this summer at least. Yeah.
Yeah, mainly in the summer, like right when lockdown hit. I just kind of I had most of those written, and so I started just recording them in the basement and spent basically that whole time working on songs and
Cool.
finished them up. Yeah.
Yeah, but is volume 2 like already in the works? What's going on with what's
Um
going on with Tom Apple as a greater
so,
concept?
uh I'm not completely sure yet. So I finished demoing my next EP like this past week. Um, so I have the songs, but I'm launching a Kickstarter for it. Um,
Cool.
Working on it with a guy in Nashville. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's going to be a Tom Apple series or like a EP and then do another Tom Apple EP. But
Interesting.
yeah, I'm not sure. Because I was thinking like for the Tom Apple stuff to keep it like doing all of that myself. Like with Tom Apple, I like produced, wrote, did everything myself, and this is more like
Did you
a
really? That's
collaborative
amazing.
thing. Yeah, I did.
Wow.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah.
Um, how do you know Watson Mac?
uh, this is like a long chain of events that leads to Watson Mac. It started out. So do you know Jake Smith, Legit Smitty?
Yeah, legit Smitty. Hmm.
Yeah.
How do you know legit
So
Smitty?
he. Oh gosh, this was like I think it was like May. So like right when I was like meeting some Belmont people just like through Instagram. Um, so Jake just like DM'd me one day. It was like, "Hey, I think you're dope," and so we started talking, and like really we didn't talk much about anything. I guess he thought I was cool, and eventually um referred me to Watson, who like does the Belmont Today page. Because they were doing like these live shows or whatever, like pre-recorded students like playing songs and stuff. And so like I did that, and Watson texted me. He's like, "Hey, this guy Jake said you should play for this Belmont Today thing." So I was like, "Oh, sick." And so
Whoa.
that's how I got connected to Watson. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just him running the Belmont Today page and posting video of mine.
That's cool. Well, I don't know if you caught it, but Watson
Yeah.
came on Fun Zone and he spoke really highly of you. So
Oh, he
he's
did.
obviously a big fan now. Yeah.
I need to go back and watch.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I need to have legit Smitty on here too because I've never I don't think had a conversation with him, but
Really.
seems like a really really cool dude.
Yeah, he's dope.
Yeah,
Super
and
sick.
he gave me my Oregon, so
Oh,
shout out.
really?
Yeah, he like
Nice.
couldn't move it into wherever he moved into, so he gave it to me.
Sick.
It's a very very kind gift.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he's a
cool.
cool dude.
Um,
Yeah.
are you feeling like happy that you moved to Nashville? It seems like you're meeting some really cool people. How's like
Yeah.
Belmont been for you? How's just moving and everything?
It's been like surprisingly really well. Uh like it's definitely the most normal I've felt since like COVID and everything started.
Right.
Um Definitely like one of the more lucky kids on campus, just being able to meet people and make a lot of friends really quick, which I know a
Yeah.
lot of people haven't been able to with COVID. But no, it's
Right.
been awesome. I love Nashville. Like you can just walk anywhere and see someone cool. I think that's sick. Like everyone's so dope.
Yeah.
I have to, I have to like step up my like fashion game. Like I walk into any coffee shop and everyone just is dressed like super sick, and I'm wearing like Chacos and Nike shorts or something.
Dude, the coffee shop game is crazy. The coffee shops here are like, I mean, it's one of the top. People will say we're like top five coffee shop, like coffee culture in the States. That's probably true. The
Yeah,
coffee shops here are just insane. And then all the people there, yeah, are
it is.
so hip, dude.
Yeah,
It's
it's insane.
exhausting to keep up with. Like, I live down in Nolensville now, like
Okay.
almost Nolensville, still Nashville. But I go to coffee shops like Nolensville, like Brentwood, which is supposed to be like suburbia, and
Yeah.
everyone there is even cooler because they're like you'd think they'd be like less cool, but it's like all
Yeah.
the established artists who like can afford to live in like the bougie suburbs. So it'll just be like even more famous. They're like even more famous than the people in Nashville. So
Dang.
it's crazy. What do you think about Nashville in comparison to like Atlanta? I mean, I've played in Atlanta a ton. My
Hmm.
grandmother and grandfather used to live there, so I was there all the time. But I've never quite been able to like wrap my mind around Atlanta's culture and like the music scene. It's always different every time I go.
Yeah. The music scene is definitely like, I don't know. It's pretty weird. There's definitely like you have like the Atlanta rap scene.
Sure.
Like everyone I went to high school with like has at least one rap song like out on SoundCloud. That's just like the thing.
Whoa.
But then there's kind of like the indie scene, which is like I don't know, somewhere between like Julian Baker, like kind of whiny emo girl, like acoustic guitar, to like heavy metal bands and just like super
Interesting.
like hard rock. Yeah. That's that's the vibe I've picked up just from playing shows and seeing around here. But
Yeah.
definitely not as, I don't know, not as cool and diverse as Nashville seems to be. But
Some bands have met that are doing really interesting stuff in Atlanta or now even beyond, like Lunar Vacation. Do you keep up with
oh
them?
yeah,
Or like Dinner Time? Do you know that band?
I don't think so. Mm-mm.
Oh man, Dinner Time is awesome. They're really cool. You would
Yeah.
specifically would really dig their music. I'm curious
Okay.
about like about this album, so or EP, I guess would maybe you call it
Yeah.
EP. You said you made all of this yourself, just at home, like using Logic
Mhm.
and just recording
Yeah.
instruments.
Yeah. So
It's incredible.
I I started like recording stuff with my band, 99 Corolla, about like a year and a half ago. I really got
Cool.
into like recording and producing stuff. And so I finally just had these songs. I mean, like we couldn't do stuff with like our band just because everyone was at home. So I was like, all right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do stuff by myself. And so
Right.
I just produced and wrote the whole thing, and I took my sweet time on it. It took like 5 months to like finish everything. I
Yeah.
was kind of going crazy towards the end of it, but I think it ended up sounding good and worth it. Worth spending all that time and actually figuring out how to produce and mix and everything. You know?
Yeah. It sounds really
Yeah.
good. Is the band still together? Is that a project you're still working on, or y'all?
Yeah, yeah, we've actually been tracking a lot of stuff since I've been home.
Where do
Um,
they live now?
they're all actually still here. Two of them are still in high school, so they
Dang.
they don't go anywhere. But yeah, we're all home for the holidays, so we've been tracking stuff in my basement for the last couple weeks. But yeah,
That's cool. Do you feel like particularly drawn to like that or to doing solo music in Nashville, or can they both kind of coexist in your musical world?
yeah, I think they can. Like, I think my solo stuff is definitely more folk and pop based. Um, and then my band is definitely like kind of rockier. Um, which I kind of like having those two different like genres to like bounce between.
Yeah.
So I'm not like, so if I like write a rock song, it's not like, I don't know, it's not weird if I put it out under Corolla instead of like my solo stuff, just because it makes sense to do that. Um,
Right.
like I released that song Drugs, and I kind of wish I released it as a Corolla song, just because it doesn't
Mm.
fit the rest of the vibe. At least I don't think it fits the rest of the vibe of my EP. Um,
Interesting.
but it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of nice to have like those two different worlds, just as a writer, so I can be like, oh, this song sounds more like a Corolla song than it does a song to put out solo, you know.
Yeah, right.
But yeah.
Interesting. So, you said a couple of the members are still in high school and then another
Hmm.
one is also in Atlanta but just like out of high school?
Yeah. So there's actually 7 of us in the band.
Wow, okay.
A very big band.
But all six of them
Um,
are in Atlanta except for you?
yeah, yeah, we're all,
Dude,
well, yeah, all of them. They all should come to Nashville. I want to convince them, but
to all move.
yeah, I'll get a big house in Nashville. But
Wouldn't that be sick?
they would. But yeah. So three of them I graduated with. We all went to the same high school. Um, and
Cool.
then the rest of them are some old buddies from church. And then
Yeah.
one day we just kind of like morphed worlds and started jamming and started making music.
So is there 99 Corolla music on Spotify? I haven't heard it.
Yeah, there is. We have we have a couple singles in an EP that we put out
Hey
last
yo, here we go.
November.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool, dude. I used to drive a Corolla, man. It's a beautiful car. Do any
Yeah.
of y'all have a Corolla too? Is that the story?
Yeah, I drive my Mimi's 99 Corolla.
Look at how young some of these people
There it
are.
is. Yeah, we
Oh
we
my
look
goodness,
really we look really tiny in that photo. That's an old photo. But
that's sick.
yeah.
Wow, this is like a what do you call it? This is like a group. I don't know. It's like there's so many different members. I feel like
Yeah.
that's crazy. Well, that's cool, man. Right on.
Yeah, it's fun.
What made you want to move to Nashville, especially knowing that like you have this project and all these seems like you're really well connected in Atlanta. The moving to Nashville
Yeah.
might be like isolating.
Yeah. Um, well, I mean, obviously I've just heard great things about Belmont. One thing that like really solidified it was I played a show at Eddie's Attic. Have you ever played a show at Eddie's Attic here in Atlanta?
No, I'm very
You
familiar with
haven't?
it, and I have a friend
Okay.
who works there, but I've never
Oh, sick.
played there. No.
But I played a show with two of the members of Corolla at Eddie's Attic, and two of the guys. I feel like you would know them. Jack Van Cleef, Max Marshall. You know them,
For
right?
sure. Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Love those
yeah.
guys.
They they were also at that show and they played, and so I like just started talking to them, and they told me how they went to Belmont, and just like talking to them about it and their experience, and then like realizing their like whole community and like all their writer friends. Like I wanted to have like friends like that, like
Yeah.
all the musical people that I know here in Atlanta that like are really good, like are pretty much the people like in my band, and I don't really know much people outside of that. And so I
Yeah.
just wanted more. It seemed like there was a really like rich community of writers and like just musicians in Nashville, unlike where I'm at least for like the music I want to make for sure. But
Yeah, totally. What part of Atlanta are you in? Are you in like the suburbs somewhere?
I'm in Marietta, so like 40
Marietta.
minutes away from Atlanta. Yeah.
That's
Isn't your
where Family Force 5 is
isn't it
from.
your favorite? Yeah, your
Uh,
favorite band, right?
dude, straight up. I love that
One
band.
of the one of the keyboard players from Family Force 5. Dude, they're tight. One of their members went to my church for a while. I forget his name, but
What the heck? Probably Chapstick or Nay Daddy. But you probably didn't know him as that.
I I, I wouldn't know. Yeah.
That's cool. So right. So also you're like not exactly like in the city anyway. So it would be harder to like get into it. I mean that does
Yeah.
make sense. That does make sense. Do you feel like moving to Nashville, is there a certain thing in music? Like, is your artistry the most important thing to you? Or are you looking to get involved in other parts of the industry, like as a musician or producer or other,
Um,
pieces?
I mean, really I want to do it all. Like I'd love to start producing people. Um, but it seems like I've had the most like recognition, or like I've seen the most hope in like my project,
Right.
just like continuing that and just eventually playing gigs, some solo gigs once that's a real thing again. And so that's kind of the main thing I'm focused on, is kind of like pushing that a bit more. Um, yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I guess you haven't had any opportunity to play any gigs so far, huh?
Mm-mm. I did. I had like 10 friends over for like a EP release thing. And my
Oh,
friend's
right.
making a video for it. We like recorded it and everything. Yeah.
At Leah's
Um,
place, right?
haven't. Yeah, yeah, at Leah's. But that's about the extent of the gig that I've played so far.
That's cool, dude. I almost lost
Oh
you.
no. Frozen? Am I frozen?
Yo, I can hear you, but you're frozen. Am I frozen?
My bad.
We're back now. We're back.
All
Um,
right.
that's what's up. Oh, I was gonna ask. Oh yeah, so with like touring or like performing, what's your
Mm-hmm.
relationship like with that? Like did 99 Corolla perform a lot, or are there other opportunities in the past that you've done any performing?
Yeah. Um, so I've always kind of like been around live music. Like, have you played the Masquerade in Atlanta? Or are you
Oh,
familiar with it?
I'm familiar with it. I've also never played there. I've only played
Okay.
weird places in Atlanta.
So I grew up like going to that venue, like watching my sisters play. Like
Isn't
I
it pretty
definitely
big?
it's in so they have like 3 levels to it. There's like
Hmm.
so there's hell, purgatory, and then heaven are the
Whoa.
3 stages. Yeah. Heaven's the biggest one. They usually played like purgatory or hell. Um
Wow.
but when I was like in elementary school, like my parents would like drag me to their concerts. Definitely shouldn't have been there. There's some sketchy stuff going on there. But um so that kind of like that for sure like inspired me to actually play live music. But it really wasn't until like 2 years ago, like with Corolla, um and my brother-in-law's band Southam, I started like playing uh some gigs here and there. And then like pretty much like getting closer to when lockdown was, we kept getting more and more gigs. And I think
Dang.
we had like 5 lined up, and then lockdown and all of them got canceled. But
Oh, dude.
yeah.
That
But no,
sucks.
I really started to enjoy playing live music cuz before I just wanted to kind of be a producer and in the studio like doing that kind of thing, and I was like, wait, like this is actually kind of sick. I kind of like singing and throwing my guitar around in front of people.
Yeah, right. What did you say you have some siblings who do music too?
Mhm. Yeah, so well my sisters are in a band called Wire Method. Uh
Right, right, right. You mentioned that, the one behind you.
yeah.
And but they're older
That's actually
sisters?
yeah, so I have 3 older sisters. Um
Cool. That's awesome.
yeah, they all do music. Um if you go and watch my Belmont Today like performance or whatever, it's basically me and all of my siblings playing with me. It's pretty sick.
Whoa, no way.
But yeah. Um
That's so cool,
and
man.
so the 2 guys that are also in Wire Method are married to 2 of my sisters, so now it's like a legit family band.
Holy moly.
Yeah,
How
it's pretty
cool.
tight.
And you're in the band
Um
sometimes too?
yeah, so we recorded an EP like 2 years ago in Nashville. I think it's finally about to come out like
Let's
sometime soon.
go. Cool.
Um so I got to record some guitar for that. But I've never like played with them live. They like stopped playing shows like 4 years ago maybe. They haven't
Yeah.
played in a minute. But my brother-in-law's band Southam, it's just like him and his friend Dylan. They needed a bass player, so I kind of fill in here and there and started playing shows with them quite a bit.
Wow, that's
So that's
really
fun.
special, man. That's really
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, it's sick. I like playing with them. But
Have you ever done any like worship oriented stuff? You ever played in a church
hmm
band or anything?
yeah, that's kind of like I guess that's how you can say I've started playing live music.
Really?
Just in the church. Like me and all my siblings would play like almost every Sunday morning. My dad, my dad's a pastor, so we would like always be dragged around to play worship stuff all the time with whatever he was doing. So that's pretty much how I started like playing in front of people. Is just every Sunday. Yeah.
Wow, fascinating.
hmm
So this is
Yeah.
why you lived in Colorado at one point and why you also lived in Indiana, I think you said?
Yeah. Yeah. So my dad was a pastor in Indiana, then a pastor for a little bit in Colorado, and then a pastor in Atlanta, and stayed there for most of my life. So yeah.
Wow, this is very interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. That's amazing, man. So
Yeah.
is he like a, what do you call it? Like, is he the preacher? Like the pulpit minister, as some places
He,
call it?
I guess the preacher. He's always been, well, I guess currently he's like a non-denominational pastor. So I don't know if there's like a title for that or
I don't
just
know either.
pastor, preacher. I don't really know.
Meaning he's the one who like talks to the
Yeah.
assembly, the congregation
Yeah.
every week. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. Do you feel like so my granddad is is a preacher in the Church of Christ, or was, and my dad is a college minister and also used to be
Okay.
like a children's minister. So I grew up in a similar way, perhaps.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that shapes like your musical identity? Do you feel like it connects like in the ways that your dad is a pastor and you're an artist? Do you think those things correlate at all, or is it just very different to
Oh,
you?
no. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it definitely is just like, I don't know. I feel like there's something like special in like growing up in the church that like, I don't know. It just kind of has an influence on you like in every way.
Totally.
I don't know what it is about like church kids and everything that is just like, I don't know. It's some weird experience. But
Right.
definitely just like faith and just like my family growing up in church and stuff has always played a part in writing and everything.
Yeah. Do you see your dad being a pastor? Have you ever considered being like a pastor or a youth minister, like working in the church? What compels you to be more involved in like the music industry and writing and performing music?
Yeah. Um, well, for a while, probably like beginning of high school, I was like really set on like being a youth minister or pastor or something. Um, but then I kind of like, because I was like really into music, but it wasn't like, I wasn't like dead set on it yet.
Yeah.
And then I, I think it was sophomore year, like once like I started playing with people and like eventually started playing shows, I was like, I think I kind of want to do more of this. Um, and recording in Nashville with my siblings, that like really solidified it. Just like, dang, I just want to be making music. Um,
That's cool.
so definitely a different route from uh, youth ministry or pastoral ministry to music, but yeah, it's interesting. I
I
think my parents are on board for it.
Yeah, I feel like there's a similarity. Like I feel like,
Yeah.
I've mentioned this before on the show. I've talked to different people about. I mean, being a pastor, it is maybe not considered a performance,
Mm,
or like using that would make it seem like it's not authentic, but it is like a performative thing. I mean, you're up.
yeah.
I've always felt like what my granddad did and what I do isn't always that different. I don't know. I mean,
Hmm.
it's it's more similar, I think, than people would say. And I also considered a being like a pastor, like a youth minister.
Yeah.
Like I remember I always thought that'd be really cool. And I don't know what it is
Yeah.
exactly about it that doesn't quite compel me or quite attract me to it. I don't think I like the idea of working within a congregation like that, like within a
Hmm.
smaller group. Like I'd rather travel and like do something that's more on the road and like for whoever wants to
Yeah.
be a part of it, almost more like if
Hmm.
almost more like a mission. I'd rather be like a missionary than like a I don't know if that makes sense, but
No, yeah, it does.
that's where my heart is. But I do think there is some similarity, especially if you you know are still a part of the church, like are still faithful. It
Yeah.
definitely all correlates.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really interesting. So you're the youngest of four, all three older
Yeah.
sisters,
Hmm. Yes, I'm the youngest.
and two of them are in that band with their husbands.
So the oldest two are married to two guys who are in the band. Um, and my youngest sister is also in the band, but her husband isn't in the band. If you followed that.
I do. So
Okay,
that one,
sick.
so her husband is not involved in the music. Does he still maybe like sells merch or something? He's involved in other
he
ways.
he's more he's like run sound for us and stuff. He's more of
Yeah.
a sound guy. He does music too, but he just never we just never recorded with him.
Yeah, right. I think that's really cool. That whole
Yeah.
family band thing reminds me of my best friend S. Grant Parker. Him and his two brothers had a band all growing up with their dad, and they would perform at the church, and like we're always performing at like different events and stuff, and
Sick.
just had the awesome blood harmony as they called it. Like the sibling thing.
Yeah, that's
I
dope.
think that's just so cool, man. That's
Yeah.
amazing. it's a really special thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is for sure.
Yeah, that's cool. How do you know, when you moved to Belmont, how did you meet like some of those people like let's say like Harrison or like the Claires and stuff? How did you get involved as a freshman amidst COVID and stuff? How do you even meet people anymore on
Yeah.
campus?
Honestly, like the biggest thing, which I feel like this is like a stupid thing to say, but the like Belmont 24 Instagram page,
No way.
like that was just like everyone just posted like a picture of themselves and was like, "Hey, I'm Michael, blah 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 blah. I like these things. Like DM me." And so it just kind of went from there. And Anson, I like pretty much hit it off with instantly, and we just like talked a bunch online. And so like
Yeah,
once I
Anson's
got to
awesome.
campus, yeah, he's super sick. Um, once I got to campus, we just like met up, and then like from there, I think we are like hanging out just like by the fountain at Belmont, and I saw like Harrison from a distance. I was pretty sure it was him, and Harrison just like does like this massive like circle around me and Anson, and just like makes eye contact with us, and we like don't know what he's doing. He's just like circling us for no reason. And then he walks away and doesn't say anything. We're like, all right, that was weird.
What?
Yeah. And then eventually him and the Claires walk up. They're like, "Are you Michael?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then I dabbed up Harrison and like hugged him. And then that's pretty much it. We just like instantly clicked with all those people. Like
That's cool.
there's no explaining like how all that worked. We just like we clicked, and then the next night I was over at the Yolk House with Claire and Reese and Harrison and Anson and all those people, and then we just
Yeah,
like
right.
started hanging out like every day from then on.
That's cool. Do you feel like
Yeah.
as a freshman and also as you were a senior amidst
Hmm.
the pandemic and stuff, is it, I mean, it probably affects you more than just about anybody else in
Yeah.
any other age range. Do you feel like at this point you're just over it, and not over it in a sense of like you're the like anti-mask, anti-vax,
Yeah.
but I mean like over it, like overthinking about it, like you're just like, this is my reality that we just have to live with, or is it something that still
Yeah.
just really you think about a lot, where you're like, man, screw this, like I wish I could just like be having a normal senior year and now a normal freshman year. It's very
Yeah.
frustrating.
It definitely like towards the end of senior year and pretty much all of the summer I was just like mad. I was like, I can't do anything. Like
That
it was
sucks,
just
dude.
it was just boring. Um but then like coming to Belmont and like meeting a lot of people, and even though it's still like weird, I don't know, it feels less weird just like meeting new people and like doing creative things, or like doing photo shoots, making music with people, like all sorts of creative things. Like I felt like I could have been doing like all summer, but I just like didn't have the chance to.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, it's definitely not back to normal, and I wish like live shows were happening. And I know Nashville is normally more hopping than it is
yeah,
right now.
totally.
Um, but given the circumstances, I think it's been. I'm not. I mean, obviously, I want everything to be done, but I'm not super stressful about it right now as I
Right.
used to be, just because things have been going pretty well, just meeting people and making music, and yeah.
That's
So
cool. That's a good
yeah.
perspective. Um,
Hmm.
I'm sure it has been hard. I feel like, I don't know. Yeah, it's just the most crazy thing for y'all specifically.
Yeah.
My heart goes out to y'all, and I do hope that things can just get back to normal as quick as possible.
Yeah.
Especially with live music. I mean, that's for me too. You know, I want to be on tour so badly. It hurts. It's what I
Yeah.
want to do. You know, it's just tour.
Yeah.
No,
No, absolutely.
it's really a frustrating time for sure.
Hmm.
What do you when you're not like creating or in class? Is there anything else that you've really gotten into or been passionate about, or any other hobbies or anything that
Mm.
you've been enjoying focusing on,
Hobbies.
or just anything else? Any other type of art, or
Um,
maybe it's playing Super Mario. I don't know, whatever.
I've definitely like, well, one musically, like I've started working on like some other people's projects, which that's
Cool.
something I've never done before. Like it's normally been stuff I've written or had kind of like leadership over, and now it's like I don't have leadership over this, and they're like wanting a guitar part from me or something. So that's been
Nice.
interesting and trying to figure that out and doing more stuff like that. But I've definitely, it hasn't become a hobby yet, but just photo and video stuff I've gotten really into. Like I haven't done it, but just watching other people do it and like I don't know, just sitting down and watching music videos or like looking at this photographer's Instagram page like has really interested me lately. But
That's cool. That's cool.
yeah, and there's a lot of people like that at Belmont. Like, do you know Tyler Kerpane
I don't
by
think
chance?
so.
You know, he's tight with Watson. He did some of my photos like for promo stuff, for the
Cool.
EP. Um, but his stuff's super sick. He takes awesome photos. Um, and then like Harrison and Claire, I don't know, just watching them do like cool video stuff is like, I don't know, really inspiring to me. I feel like it's helped me musically too, just to like put a visual into my head and kind of like, I don't know, be inspired by that instead of being inspired by like a specific sound or like a
Yeah.
genre or something, you know? So I think
Yeah.
that's cool.
That is cool. I was actually
Yeah.
going to ask you if there were any
Mm,
specific influences that you could name for your EP, because it is a really unique sound, and I
yeah.
can't quite pin like what it, I mean, it's obviously all music is its own
Yeah.
thing and unique, but specifically this music I feel like it is a little undefinable for me. I was wondering if there's any
Hmm.
specific artists or records that you were kind of digging when you were making this.
Yeah. Um, so Ethan Gruska in Garde, have you listened to that record?
Sure. I've not listened to that record, but I'm familiar with that artist.
Yeah.
Really good.
Um, yeah, he's so sick. Um, Not so much his songwriting, but like production wise and just overall vibe was heavily inspired by that record. I've
Cool.
probably listened to that record at least 3 times a week since it came out in like
Wow.
January. Yeah,
No way.
it's a beautiful record.
It's
Um,
incredible.
but yeah, his production is super sick. He produces like Phoebe Bridgers, and people
Wow.
like that. And
Does
yeah,
he
I was
live in
just
LA
really,
or does he live here?
he lives in LA, yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Um, but that record is super sick. And then Ethan's Room, his record, um, I think it's just a self-titled record, right? Ethan's Room by Ethan's Room, I
I
think,
let's check.
possibly.
Um, yeah. The album you're talking about, the album, yeah, from 2020,
Yeah,
came out in
that
February.
one. Hmm.
Cool.
That one like really inspired me too. And that was before like
Wow.
I listened to that album a bunch, and then months later I realized like Jack and Max were like best friends with him and all that, and I was like, holy crap. Like,
Yeah, you're
but
right.
yeah,
He was on
but
Fun Zone last night, man. He came on and
oh
played.
really?
Yeah, he played some. He came on and just randomly was playing Jenga, like with my two guests. He just like showed up and was hanging out. So that's cool.
That's
That's
sick.
amazing. Have you gotten a chance to meet him?
Not yet. We've like DM'd some, but that's about it. I'm sure I will eventually, just being
Yeah,
in Nashville. But
right.
yeah,
So Ethan and Ethan.
yeah, the two Ethans. Um, Trying to think if there was anything else I was listening to. Those were like those were the two biggest influences. Um,
Cool.
and then there's like specific songs I hear like Lynn and Stella, her record that came out. Some of the like vocal effects and like Oz on my EP were like inspired by that.
Wow,
Um,
nice.
but yeah, that's pretty much it. Those two records specifically were a huge influence as far as production goes and everything.
That's cool. You know, Lennon lives here in Nashville, or at least used to.
Yeah.
Is there anyone else in Nashville that you're like wanting to meet while you're here?
Uh, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that I've liked their music for like a while and didn't realize like people I'm friends with are like best friends with them and stuff. If that makes sense. Like,
Yeah, right.
um, trying to think.
It's a very non-pretentious town.
Yeah.
Very easy to meet people.
Um,
I've never found anyone, hardly anyone ever makes me feel weird about like wanting to meet them, you know?
yeah. No, I picked up that vibe like almost instantly when I got here that like everyone's just super friendly and it's not about like there's not like a hierarchy or anything between musicians. It's just like everyone wants to like
Yeah,
be
right.
friends. Yeah.
There's no
It's
need
super
for that. And
sick.
it's just so unpredictable, you know, like
Yeah.
one, it's just good to be good to people and just a human
Mhm.
sense. Like, and I think a lot of people recognize that and are genuine. But at the same time, the industry is so unpredictable. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, if I was like, oh, Michael Allen Scott, like he's just some freshman at Belmont, and I was like a tool, like, dude, tomorrow you might just like blow up. Like, it's so like there's just no. I find it impossible to act like I'm above anyone because
Yeah.
music is so subjective. One, it's
Mhm.
just incomparable. Like I don't listen to music and think it's. I just like music. You know, it's just very
Yeah.
undefinable thing. And
Mhm.
same with people. So I find the whole idea of there being a hierarchy to be pretty ridiculous, especially
Yeah.
because the hierarchy, if you really did value that, it's like some of the artists that are doing really well are just doing better than other artists because they have connections or more money, you know? So
Yeah.
even if you were going to judge everyone based off their streams or Instagram followers, then you're going to have
Mhm.
a pretty whacked up hierarchy because the people up top aren't always the most interesting or
Yeah.
even the hardest working or like most genuine people. You know, sometimes they are, but
Yeah.
just the whole thing is too hazy for all that. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, I feel like a lot of people in Nashville agree with that. And maybe they do in New York and LA too, but I just don't have a lot of experience there.
Mhm.
Nashville definitely seems I love how friendly it is. It's what part of what
Yeah.
keeps me here, you know.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
definitely feels like even people who are like pretty high up in the music industry here, like still aren't they aren't like jerks about it. Like they still will go like, I don't know, mow a lawn or something. Like
Yeah,
they're just like
right.
they're a normal person, you know.
Yeah,
There's nothing like intimidating about them, which I think that's super sick. Like very
totally.
approachable people.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, and also it's like the people who are successful, you it's kind of just there because it's not even just artists here. It's like songwriters and
Yeah.
producers and engineers to where there's people you might meet and you might have no idea who they are, but they're very well connected. It's just you don't ever really know who is what. It's just
Yeah.
better to just continue being a normal person like you were before. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Before you entered the music game, because
Mhm.
I don't know. I think if everyone's down to act like that, then we'll get along a lot better. I mean,
Yeah.
then I don't know. It is kind of weird. It is kind of a weird thing how we all you're around so many artists, and artists are like a weird culmination of like a personal person and
Mhm.
also a an artist who has a career. And
Yeah.
it is very blurry when you're there's no set time when you network and another time when you're just friends. It's like any time in any moment
Mhm.
could be an asset to your musical
Yeah.
career as well as just a genuine interaction and a genuine moment.
Mhm.
The whole thing is just all blended up like a smoothie.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
one thing I've noticed is like being someone's friend and like making connections like kind of coexist in Nashville. Like I
Right.
feel like very few people that you make connections with here like aren't your friends, if that makes sense. Like if you
Yeah.
want to like make connections and like get somewhere in the industry, like I feel like you have to throw the idea of like making connections out the window and just start being friends with people. I feel like
Right.
that's like the move. And then eventually like your friends are the people that, help you like get into the industry and like move you forward.
That's definitely been my theory, and
Yeah.
I think it's a good one to have. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. It's definitely more enjoyable than the latter. So,
Yeah,
you know.
for
Yeah,
sure.
that's cool. That's cool. Are you familiar with Jordy Cersei?
Yeah, he was actually at my EP release
That's
concert
cool. I was gonna say,
with
yeah, because
Leah.
at Leah's house, and she is dating Jordy, and I was
Yeah,
thinking you or maybe Harrison were saying you were a really big Jordy fan.
I like his music. I'm not. I want to
Yeah.
say I'm a huge fan. I'm not a huge
No,
fan.
no, no.
I
I
just
get it. Yeah, yeah, for
yeah
sure.
yeah
That's cool. He's a really
yeah
inspiring dude.
yeah.
Well, that's cool, man. That's cool. Do you have any plans for this like winter break while you're back in Atlanta? You said you've been tracking some with a band. Is there any other
Mm-hmm.
ideas or projects you're gonna be
There's
working on while you're celebrating the holiday?
yeah. Um, I've been kind of working on a bunch of stuff. So I have this one guy, Sully, who goes to Belmont, who just like sent me an acoustic and a vocal track to kind of produce and put stuff on. So I've been working on that. I've been working on my friend Cannon, some of his stuff that he's been wanting to put out for a while.
Cool.
Kind of like sort of co-producing it with him and like Jake, legit Smitty. He's kind of working on that a little bit too. Um, and then Corolla stuff, and then I mean just kind of writing, doing whatever. With since I have like a long break, I found it easy to just like not rush into things. Like
Yeah.
I felt very inspired just like being in Nashville, and now it's like I don't know. I feel like I'm having to work a little bit more, like to crank out songs and ideas, just because I'm not around like a ton of creative people all the time. So I'm
Yeah.
having to work like my brain a little bit harder than I feel like I used to, just because I'm working on a bunch of stuff at the same time. But no, it's been fun. Yeah,
That's cool, man. That's cool.
yeah,
I'm excited to hear what you make next, whether it's another collection of music you make at your house or
yeah,
with other people.
yeah.
You've got a lot of cool different projects, and I genuinely really like your music. I think
Thanks.
it's a really cool sound. I'm excited to hear what you do next.
Yeah.
In any capacity. That does sound nice to have a big break like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that seems like it would be a good chance to really. I think it's a good method to just kind of take it slow and just kind of create whenever you can, and also obviously
Yeah.
spending time with your big family. I'm guessing are you going to be able to get
Yeah.
this? Are they all going to be around and in town to celebrate like Christmas?
Yeah. They'll all be here. I think like Christmas Day will all be here at my house, so that'll be cool.
That's
Mhm.
awesome. Have you started
Yeah.
thinking about your grander plans of like 2021 and beyond? Like, do you have any you have anything else like any other interesting goals or plans?
um. Well, the biggest goal is to put out this next EP. Probably it'll honestly be like probably November ish again in 2021.
Wow, really?
Yeah, mainly because I want to take a lot of time with more promotional stuff, photo, video. Um, I'd like to
Yeah,
do more like I don't know, more live session things if live shows still aren't happening, just
right.
stuff to keep people interested, you know. But yeah, that's about it. Just
That's
focusing
cool.
on that. Yeah.
That's a really like solid and steady goal. Like having another
Hmm.
EP out within a year. It's like not super. It's not overly ambitious, and but I
Yeah.
think really, yeah, like you said, like when you really do the whole package and like making the song sound the best you can, and
Hmm.
just having the promo ready too and stuff that could take a year, and like
Yeah.
that leaves you enough time to make sure everything's really solid and really prepared, as opposed to like
Hmm.
getting rushed, which might be my tendency or a lot of artists'
Yeah.
tendency. Like I think that's really interesting
Yeah.
that you have such a long, steady goal like that.
Yeah. Well, that's, I mean, with like 99 Corolla, we would crank things out like in a week. We'd like write, record, and send it off
Wow.
for mastering like within a week or two. And I was like, all right, I can't do more of this. Like I got to take it slow. And so I took it like a little slower, like 5 months to like work on my solo EP. And I don't know, I just saw the benefit of that, of just like how it sounded and like just improvement as far as a producer and mixing and everything, just taking like more time with it. So that's kind of the goal with this next one, is to take even more time with it, hoping it'll be even better than the last one. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Have you found like bandmates? You said you like different people in Nashville that you've been able to like jam with at all
Mm-hmm.
or kind of create with. I know you said like legit Smitty and like a studio. Y'all been like collaborating in a studio since. Have y'all been able to like? Have you been able to even find? Can you even find places to like have a drum kit and stuff when you're in Nashville in the dorms
Yeah.
and stuff?
Um, well, it kind of sucks because right now we can't have visitations. So like,
Dang,
I can't have someone over to my dorm to like jam or something. So that's like,
that
that was kind of
sucks.
that was the main barrier. Like this past semester is I can't like record with a bunch of people or
Right.
anything, just because they can't go anywhere and I don't live off campus anywhere. Um, but I've gotten, I mean, my extent of jamming or like playing with people is just like with acoustic guitars outside, mainly just like writing. Me and my friend Cannon like have written a bunch together. Um,
Cool.
but that's honestly about it. It was just like a studio space with a couple guys one day, and we just like mindlessly jammed just to play loud with people in a room, since
That's
we haven't
awesome.
done that in a long time. But
Yeah. What
yeah.
what do you going back to what do you like to do when you're not making music? You're not doing homework.
Uh, um, gosh, my hobby outside of music is playing disc golf, and that's about it.
Really? No
Yeah,
way. Have you done
I
that
like playing some
very
disc golf.
much?
I actually haven't since I've been in Nashville. I've played like since I've been home. I've played a bit, but things kind of just went like super fast while I was being in Nashville. And I just wanted to meet people and do music stuff and create stuff in any capacity. So I didn't really take the time to go play disc golf, but I probably should have, looking back at it, taking a break. But
Tell me about some of your friends. Like who have you met at Belmont that you really are excited about, like their music and their journey? You're
yeah,
excited to like watch them grow and create.
yeah, man. Oh, there's a lot of people. Um,
Cool.
I guess like one that sticks out mainly because I found him like on the Belmont 24 page. He was like one of the first dudes I found. Cannon, Cannon Hunt. He has like a EP out. It's super sick. Um,
Yeah.
but I just like really liked his music, and I honestly thought we wouldn't be friends. Like I thought he didn't like me for some reason with our like online conversations, which is like a stupid statement as I realize it comes out of my mouth. But um yeah, he's super sick. Like every song he sends me is like a complete banger. And now I'm
That's
like
awesome.
helping him. Now I'm helping him like produce some and like record some stuff for him. So yeah, I'm super
Yeah.
excited for him and just seeing whatever he does. I think he'll do
Yeah,
some
that's
dope stuff.
cool.
Yeah.
Do you follow I saw you follow on Instagram, I think Glitch Gum.
Yeah, I do. I
Do you
haven't
know
met him yet. I
dude,
I know who he is. Um
oh
but
my
yeah.
gosh. His music is so good. And
Yeah,
he's from
it's
Atlanta.
tight.
He's from Atlanta
Oh,
originally.
really? I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
Um I got into that song Never Met and then it's just so good. And then I saw 100 Gex remixed it and I was
Oh
like
yeah.
losing my mind. I was like, "Oh my gosh. This dude, I know he like goes to Belmont." And I
Yeah.
followed him and he immediately messaged me back and was like, "Hey Freeze, like I don't know if you remember me, but we met in Mac's basement, which Mac is this guy who had like through house shows in like
Okay.
downtown Atlanta. So
Mhm.
Apparently, I
Dang.
met him back when he was like in high school. He's like coming to shows at this like DIY spot. I just thought that was
That's
crazy.
sick. Dang, that is crazy. Yeah, seems like he's been taking off, like getting a lot of attention for his music and stuff. I mean, that 100 Gex remix, that's a pretty big deal, it seems like.
That's like as big as it gets. Yeah, like that's
Yeah.
insane. Especially what's that is quite literally as big as it gets in a like the hyper pop world, like or
Yeah.
whatever you want to call that type of music.
Hmm.
I just saw I had to ask you about that because I follow him and I just think he's so interesting. And I
Yeah.
reached out. I'm gonna have him on the show, so I'm excited to
Oh, nice.
meet with him and talk to him some more and just kind of figure out what the heck is going on with that whole genre. It's just so cool and such a
Yeah.
mystery to me. I have no idea how that
Yeah, it
type of
is.
music's created or how long that subculture has existed even before it
Yeah.
became a little bit more mainstream,
Yeah,
you
I
know?
definitely didn't know like that type of music existed until like a couple months ago, I feel like. Now it
Yeah,
seems like I'm hearing about it more and more. And now this guy who seems to be like pretty deep like into that type of genre goes to Belmont and follows
totally.
me and stuff, which is crazy.
Yeah. Dude, do you speaking of kind of just like modern music and the modern age, I'm curious, what do you feel like your relationship is with like social media? Like are you on TikTok at all? Do you feel like a pressure like be like an online creator, like making content per se, or do you
Hmm.
feel like more just like old school, like just want to make music and focus on the fundamentals, just create?
Yeah, I definitely, well, for the longest time, I just wanted to make music. And I
Yeah,
mean, originally, I just wanted to be a producer. Like, I didn't even want to release my own stuff or be in a band or anything. I just like wanted to produce like other people for
sure.
bands. Um, but I definitely, oh my gosh, I lost my complete train of
Talking
thought.
about talking about social media, talking about
Oh
like
yes, yes,
yeah,
yes.
you're good, you're
Oh,
good.
um, but I think just like releasing music, like just putting it on Spotify and stuff, just made me realize like, oh crap, there's like way more to this than I thought. And like you can't just put something out on Spotify and hope people listen to it. Like there's like kind of extra steps to take for that.
Yes.
Um, which is like
For better and for
annoying.
worse. Yeah.
Yes. um, but I definitely like we did some of that like for Corolla stuff, but definitely not as much as we should have. And so for this EP, I like just started doing more promotional stuff, videos and professional photos and everything. Just things like that. I like it was a big step for me to like get on TikTok. I didn't want to at all until uh I talked to someone and they're just like you have to do it. Like it could potentially like blow your career up, which like seems to be
Right.
happening for a lot of people. It's just like one little video gets like a million views and then boom, you're like in, which is pretty crazy. So I've definitely been doing more of that. I'm not huge on it, especially with like the TikTok world. I like don't know what to post. Like, should I post something funny, something not funny? If I only like post funny stuff, will they take me like serious as a musician? There's all these like weird things that go into it. Um,
Right.
but I've just kind of accepted it and trying to make the most of it. I've definitely not figured out like how it works or what to do, but I'm there. I'm on TikTok,
Didn't
on
didn't
it
Nate
on Instagram.
did Nate make a video for you?
Yeah, he did. I forgot about that. Jeez, that was like second week at Belmont. He made that video
Wow.
for me. Um, but yeah, that was cool. Because he's really into that. He's pretty good at it too. Just like with promoting people. He seems like he has I don't know. He has the energy like for TikTok and knows like how to make a TikTok. And I'm just
It's an
like
art
sitting there.
form for real.
It is like it takes special people and like a different mindset to make a TikTok. Unlike
Yeah.
me, who just like opens up my phone and sings a song with crap. But yeah, I actually there's this video that 99 Corolla posted on like our Instagram a while ago. So we have a saxophone player and he was like in the forest and he played you know Baker Street by Gary Rafferty, like the that song.
Whoa. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so I literally I just posted that video on TikTok yesterday, and then I opened it up like a few hours later and it got like 1,000 likes, and now it's at like 20,000 views. I'm like, what
Whoa.
the heck? Why is this video blowing up for no reason?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, it
You
makes
never
no
know.
sense, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Never know what people are gonna like, and then yeah, it really is just a crazy game, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It is fun to be a part of though. I
Hmm.
love making TikToks and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool, dude. Well, hey, I'm excited to see. I'll have to follow you on TikTok. I'm excited to see what you
Yeah.
are creating online, and of course, most importantly, I'm excited to hear your next EP, and
Yeah.
keep listening to this one and just following your musical journey. Yeah, there's obviously a lot of people in Nashville who really believe in you
Yeah.
already, and you've made some waves even without performing at all. Obviously, with COVID, you've been able to
Yeah.
meet some cool people and be uh, you know, start making space for yourself in the scene. So I'm excited to keep being your friend and keep following your journey.
Yeah, man.
I believe in you, and I think it's going to be cool the rest of your time at Belmont watching you keep working hard and making good music. So I appreciate you taking
Yeah.
time out of your day to hang out with me for a little bit and
Yeah,
come
for
come
sure.
be a part of the fun zone, dude.
Yeah, it was sick.
Yeah, man, it's been sick for sure. Enjoy the time with your family, with all your siblings and their spouses, and with your family.
Yeah.
In your time in Atlanta, and I hope to see you whenever you get back.
Dope. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, man. Have a good
Yeah.
day.
See ya.
Peace out.